Hello world, it's Sammy Kings. Now in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to do SSL termination with Nginx. Alright, let's go. Alright guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to do SSL termination using Nginx. Now, I have actually done SSL termination before, but then that was back then when I was in the ALX software engineering program. And then what we used then was we used HA proxy for the SSL termination. But then I realized that outside of ALX, at least for the few projects I've been able to handle, for the few gigs I've been able to partake on, the infrastructure that they specified was to use Nginx, not any other third party or any other services apart from that. So there is a need for me to now know how to use Nginx, although it was seamless for me using Nginx because then I was already familiar with the workings of Nginx and separate. But so another person out there, it might be difficult, so which is why I'm actually creating this particular video, so that anywhere you are, when you get a project or where you are being given a job and then you are given a task to do a particular thing, you have the needed skills to get on to do that particular job. Okay, so now I'm going to be using the tutorials.sammykings.com that we did previously on creating server-side caching. Now, if you've not watched that particular video, I explained detailed on how you could actually set up a server, how to do the configurations, and how to actually do the reverse proxy. It is very, very important. I'm admonishing you to go and actually watch that particular video. I'm going to be dropping a link on the cards and also on the description. Okay, so now to do SSL termination with Nginx, there are just a few requirements that we need to do. So what we need to do is to install two Python packages actually. So number one is that I'm going to be using, again, I love using Nala. I'm advising us to use Nala. Okay, so I'm going to be using Nala to install. Just need to install Python 3, then setbots, then also Python 3 setbot Nginx. Now these are just the two packages in which you need to get this done. Okay, while this is processing, let me grab some water. All right. Okay, so now that this is actually done, to verify that I have setbot, now I could just do something like setbots, and yeah, setbot is here. So that's it. So now to do this basically, what I just need to do actually is to just specify the domain. Now again, this is the domain in which you are going to be using. Oh, sorry, remember from the previous tutorial, this particular web application is only listening on port 8000. Remember, that's what we did on. Yeah, this is only listening on port 8000. So before we move to actually going to do that, why not let's take it back to port 80 and then remove the default server. As at this point now, want to believe that you understand why I am actually going. Come on, okay? Why didn't you go? So as at this point, I want to believe that you already understand why I would remove this default server, because I'm also changing this to port 18. Okay, again, if you've not watched that particular video, I want you to go watch that particular video. It's very, very important. Alright, and if you are new to the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Alright, so now since that is done, I also need to verify if all is good. All is good with Nginx. It loves it. The reload. Then if I take off this and bring it back, yep, I'm having my web application. So now what I would now do is to now do the SSL termination. Is to begin the SSL termination process. So the first thing I want to do is to use setbot to actually generate the SSL certificate. So now to do that, all I just need to do is say setbot set only, now dash nginx, then D to specifying the domain name. Now the domain name is what? tutorials.samikings.com, and that's just it. So I'm going to remove this. Sorry, I forgot about that training. Dash there. Okay, and then let's proceed. Okay. I think I need to check on the for setbots. Yeah, obtain or renew a certificate. So I think and then I have Nginx, so I think I'm doing that correctly. With D also domains. Oh, that's true. I just remembered. I need to use sudo. That's it. Yeah, I just remembered. I need to use sudo. Yep. So now you just need to provide an email address that you are going to get notifications for. Again, because I'm doing this for tutorial purpose, I'm just going to be using a random email address. I don't advise this if you are going to be doing this for an application. 100% hitting on that, please don't do that. But because of tutorial purpose, I'm just doing this. So I'm just going to say user at example.com. Let me just say .ng. Okay. Now please read blah 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 blah. I say you must agree, so you don't have a choice. So I'm going to use capital Y for yes. Blah 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 blah. No. Requesting a new certificate for this. Then let's wait for it. Let's wait for it to do its job. While it's doing that, I want to grab another sip of water. I think it's done already. Yep, it's done. So now that it's done, we need to first. I'm going to open my notepad, and then we need to take note of this particular link here. It's very, very important. Certificate is saved at this, then the key is saved at this. So I'm going to come here and then I'm going to paste. I'm just going to paste it so that I will have that. So now I'm now going to go for proceed now to actually setting up the SSL to make sure that okay, this site is now using this particular SSL certificate that we actually generated. So here's how I'm going to go about with it. So I'll go back to that particular configuration in which I have here. All right, now this is the configuration file when I am hitting port 80, right? Okay, so this is the configuration file when I am hitting port 80. So what I want to do is to create a system whereby anyone that visits this particular URL on port 80 is automatically redirected to port 443. Because I could decide to come here, create a configuration for port 80, and then go and create another separate one for port 443. But I don't really like such like that. I want a situation whereby once you access the site on port 8, like you decide to go with HTTP, then the name of the URL, you are automatically redirected to the HTTPS. Because if you don't do something like that, then your website is still going to be served on HTTP instead of it redirecting to HTTPS. So it's very, very much important that you know how to do something like that. Again, I'm trying as much as possible to give you the needed information to get you ready in handling your project, because then again it's much more needed. Really, it's much more needed when you are building your own project, when you are taking up gigs. So it's very much essential that you do that. So okay, so what I'll do is this. Okay, I need to enter my setting mode. Okay, now that I'm on my setting mode, what I would need to do is to come here and close this particular server block, then start another one with server, then open it. Okay, then this particular one, now that this particular server that I actually open, why is this thing hanging? I think it's the network. Yeah, I think it's the network. Yeah, it is the network, because now it's fast and before it was slow. Okay, so this particular server now is now going to hold the configurations for the 443. This is now going to hold for the port 80, which is the HTTP. So this is what I'm going to do in this case here. So any request that comes from this particular port, I want to return the person which is a redirect. So I'm going to do return 301. 301 is a redirect. Remember your HTTP status code. So I'm going to just say HTTPS, which is the protocol, then the same host, take note of that, and the request URI. That is just what you just need. What you need to do there. Just need to specify it. So now any request that comes for port 80 on this particular machine is going to be automatically be taken to redirected to this particular then you could also come here, and put in the server name. You can also come in here and put the server name. So I think that should be, and they spell that correctly. Come on. Yeah, server name. Then this should be So remove that. Then come here. We'll remove that. So come here and place that. So now once we get a request to this particular for this particular domain on this particular port, it's automatically going to be redirected now to the port 443 version. Now because this is the only port I want to accept 443 on, I could now decide to actually, even though I'm commenting this stuff here, I could decide to now leave the default server there now. Okay, now what I would now need to do, remember this stuff, it's still the same actually. That's why I just closed it here. But that's why I just actually closed it and then just open a new one. It's much more easier because everything down there still follows. Remember, we've not reload this, so Nginx has not started reading these configurations yet. So what I'll now do here is to come down here now. You see where they said include your SSL certificate generated. So this is where we are actually going to be doing it. So we're going to come here. Now this is what I'll do. Now you are going to start with the SSL certificate directive, and this is going to be the full part. It's actually going to be the full path to your SSL certificate. Remember, they said our certificate is saved here, so that is why I actually copied it. I'm just going to copy here, copy, come in here, and then paste it. Now, our SSL certificate key too, we need to provide the absolute path to that particular place. SSL certificate key. Yep. Now copy it to. If also check this exact location, we will see that we are definitely going to see this existing there. And then we come here and then we paste that. Now that's not all actually. Remember, because we are actually using Nginx now for the SSL termination, now we'll need to include that. Actually, and I think that it's actually located on the less encrypt. Yeah, it's actually located in the less encrypt. So what is going to happen is that I am not actually going to reload this. I'm just going to save it here. So because I always actually forget, but I know it's always on. It's on the less encrypt. Okay. Yes. So this is what we are actually looking at here. This is what we are looking at. So I'm going to just do something like this, options, yes, and then God will help me to stop forgetting this particular guy. And then we need to come in here, now we need to remove this guy and then paste it in. Now I'm going to now include the SSL DH params that enables the Nginx to fully do the termination, the decryption and encryption. So this is it, and I think this too. Come on, what's happening? Yeah, SSL DH params, and I think this too is this here. Yes, it is. So I'll change. Oh wait. So what's going to happen? I'll do something like this. Let's encrypt, then SSL DH param. Alright. Then come here. Copy. then come here, paste, and then I am going to save this, and basically that's just all. Everything remains the same. So I'm just going to save this, then I'm going to check if all is well. If all is well doing this. Okay, so that was on line 30. I made a mistake there, so let's just jump there. Okay, I didn't see that actually. Alright, so yeah, so let's test this again. Yeah, successful. Now if we reload, we're going to reload this now. We'll realize now that if we reload this particular site now, you can see it's saying not secure. If we reload this, it's going to automatically redirect to the HTTPS version. So let's go. Let's click on reload and let's watch it. Let's watch. Now what you could now notice that it has automatically changed. Are you seeing it? Now if I'm going to look at the URL, you can see it's now HTTPS. Very smooth, very easy. Very smooth, very easy. If I decide to also remove the S, so that we will see it, press enter, it's always going to redirect. It's always going to redirect. But if I don't do something like that, it's still going to, if I don't put, so the reason why it's doing like that is because of this configuration that we added here. Now this is my own personal trick actually. This is my own personal trick. I just I just thought about, okay, let's do it this way. Well, if you don't put this, if you don't do something like this now on this particular guy, your web application is still going to be served on port 80, and then you won't want that actually. Then probably you will now want to be configuring your .htaccess file to do that for you, which is somewhere down here. Really, it's somewhere down here. Yeah, this is it. You will now need to do this, but basically you don't need it actually. You just have to be smart about stuff. You don't need it. So with that said, we've successfully done the SSL termination using Nginx. Now if you've enjoyed the video and you've not subscribed, come on, kindly subscribe, hit the post notification bell, so anytime I post a new video you are going to be notified, because I am very much committed that, okay, this particular year you guys are fully prepared in handling jobs, in handling gigs, because really when you get those gigs, what you are going to be exposed to is very much different from what you think you would be exposed to really. And it's very much important that you are prepared, because these guys, especially when you're working for international clients, these guys are quick to look down on you. They are quick to just look at you and say you're not skilled enough, and it's how skilled you are that determines how well you are being paid. So when I said I earn more than a millionaire in active projects that I am with this, excluding other means of in which I made money, they are not just coming because I just said it, they are coming because I actually worked for it. Alright, with that said, I'm going to see you guys on another episode. Bye bye from here.